Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Grapple here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the finale of Black Ops 2. Every time we finish a game and we get through all the maps in that game, I like to rank them individually without, comparing it to World at War or anything that came before it, and just kind of give you my thoughts off the cuff. There's no script, there's no craziness, there's no screaming. It's just worst to best, the maps, how I rank them after the gameplay. If you're curious as to my reasoning or my experiences, the playlist is right down below, so you can see the full gameplay of every single one of these maps that we did play. We did rank right after the fact, and I'm not allowed to move where they are in this ranking. So if you don't like it, watch the video. So, like I said, it's off the cuff, worst to best. I have a tier list going that I'll show intermittently throughout the entire video. But starting up at our worst, our F tier map, our only F tier map from Black Ops 2, it is Bus Depot. Bus Depot, to me, I totally understand that for certain parts of the community, having just a pure survival map is a really good idea. And I could totally fuck with it on something like Town or even Farm every now and then. But the problem with Bus Depot is there's nothing going on. The map is small, there's no perks, there's no pack, and I know that part of that is really the point. But something like Nocturne and Toten had the vibe, the atmosphere. What does Bus Depot has? It has the atmosphere from Transit, which is cool, but when you have 4 maps that all do the exact same thing without really changing anything, it gets old very quickly. The box selection is pretty mediocre. Once you get the Mark II, after the Buried DLC, things are much better, but in our playthrough, we weren't allowed to use it. It's just not a great time. I can totally see someone wanting to do a challenge. It's like, oh man, I can get to around 50 or 100 on Bus Depot. More power to you. I don't have the patience, and that's not something I enjoy. So Bus Depot's an F tier map. I don't find the enjoyment in it. Coming up next, our first D tier map is going to be Farm. Farm, really, all of the same issues that I had with Bus Depot resonate here the same, but it's just a little better. There's a little more room, there's a bit more options, you have perks. It's better only on a technicality. Bus Depot is something I never like to play again. Farm is something, in a co-op, 100%, I'll have a good time, but as a solo player, I don't really find the enjoyment or the fulfillment going back to play a map like this. It's just lava and some perks and obnoxious zombie spawns. You can train a little bit, you can deal, but I don't find the enjoyment. Surprisingly, right above Farm, in the top of our D tier, is Transit. When I played Transit, I practiced it a lot. It was on purpose because I don't enjoy Transit. It was never a map that, as a solo player, that I really wanted to go back to constantly. But I can totally understand the enjoyment from a multiplayer perspective. So I went into it with a fresh mind, not wanting to have any kind of issues or prior hatred, just go in completely blank. And I believe I said it in the video, when you play Transit, you get everything you want. You get every spawn that you want. You get to do some of the side Easter eggs. You get to use the portals. The denizens aren't too obnoxious. The jet gun, you can build it quickly. The bus route, you're able to really finesse the timing. You use the bank and things, even though I couldn't use it in my playthrough. In the ideal game, Transit is a top of B tier map. If you take away the fog and the denizens, kind of like the Transit remaster that's in BO3 Custom Zombies, Transit's easily like a bottom A tier, top of B tier map. Transit is good. If you have a bad game on Transit, it's like the worst thing you've ever done. It's just grab a part, bring it to the table. Go find the next part, bring it, like the back and forth. It's the bus, it's the denizens, it's the fog, it's everything you've heard already. So I figured, take your best case and your worst case scenario, mash them together, Transit to D tier map. It was fine. I don't want to have to ever play it again, but if you guys want me to, I will. Coming up next, our only C tier map right after Transit is going to be Die Rise. Die Rise, for me, this comparison I can do kind of the same way. Die Rise, if you get all of the perks in the spot you want, all the part spawns that you want, Die Rise is a lot of fun. The verticality, the free perks, you can really just finesse a little bit, finesse the box spawns, use the glitch to get the pre-patched Sliquifier. Die Rise could easily be the same, like a top of B tier map. But then at the worst case, it's falling down and dying. It's getting Who's Who as your free bonus perks when you really don't need it. It's mediocre box spawns and box variety. It's just not great. There's definitely a solid idea with Die Rise in terms of this verticality versus like a regular zombies map that's more horizontal focused. There's something to be said, but I feel like it's both done not significant enough while at the same time kind of wrong. There's definitely fun to be had with it, but I wasn't a fan. At the top of our B tier, we have Town. I mean, dude, let's be honest here. What is there to say about Town that hasn't been said already? It's basically the perfect, near perfect, bare bones survival map. When you give players the opportunity to camp safely, room to train even though there is lava, pack a punch, decent gun variety even though it's the same as the other maps, it feels better. The perks that you need that are essential, you create this environment where somebody can, the skill ceiling isn't as high. When you lower the skill ceiling, someone like me, who I call myself a casual high rounder, 30s, 40s, 50s, someone like me is more enticed to go play. because it's not a matter of things being so significantly difficult. You know, you give someone Pack-a-Punch, it really changes the map. It changes the game flow entirely. You have these guns that also change, have attachments added onto them, and the added damage from Pack-a-Punch. Town is not a stellar map. As much as my inner child would love to tell you that the nostalgia factor, it belongs in the A or S tier. It's fine. It's fun. It's a basic survival map. It doesn't do anything to innovate the game mode, so it can't really go any higher than this. To a few people's surprise, right above Town is going to be Nuketown Zombies. I have always been a lover of Nuketown, and thankfully in this playthrough that we had, I totally understand. I had a lot of luck, but it's a good time. The perks dropping from the sky is a cool idea, even though, you know, you can wind up not getting Jug until around 20 or 25. That fucking sucks, but the idea is cool. The skill factor is there. It's a little close quarters-ish, but you have the backyards. You have the M27. You have... It's just not bad. There's so much hate for it because it's just Nuketown, but you add zombies to it. 100%. You know, but I'm not here to judge it on its originality or its reuse of, like, multiplayer assets. I'm here to judge it on the enjoyment factor. Would I go and play it again? And 125%. Just like with the other maps, I could totally say, you know, when the RNG is good and you get lucky, Nuketown is a B or A tier map. If you get horrific perk spawning, D, C tier can get very frustrating. And I figure right here in B is right where it belongs. I had a lot of fun. I think it's a good time, and it's going to stay right here in the B tier. Coming up next to what I feel is not a surprise to anyone, as the only map in our A tier is Buried. Buried is the perfect sandbox. If you get into Buried on round 1, you go to the bank, you could be totally set up on round 1 with almost all the perks, Pack-a-Punch guns, wonder weapons, having a good time. It's really nice to have a map like this where the difficulty factor isn't there in the beginning, but it's so player friendly. Even in my playthrough, when I couldn't use things like the locker or the bank, there's still a lot of ways to get points. There's new innovative things to do to entice the player. You have Leroy, who can build things for you and break down barriers, get you free points. You have chalk drawings, so you can put things down, get the money, be able to buy whatever you need. Some simple little Easter eggs that don't require a lot of effort. Being able to get extra perks just by going towards Pack-a-Punch and being able to kill the witches and then knowing that the lights turn back on. It's low effort, high reward, so it can entice the player. It's just the idea of a sandbox in zombies done near perfectly. Is it too easy? In part, if you do certain things. Is it a lot of fun? 100%. I will go and play it again any day of the week. To the surprise of many, but not to myself and the frustration that I had, our second best map in Black Ops 2 is going to be Origins. Origins saved the zombies community. Let's be honest here. Mob of the Dead really kept us from dying with all of the trouble between Green Run and Die Rise and Nuketown. But Origins is what really saved the zombies community and propelled the community into the success of Black Ops 3. You know, I feel like Black Ops 3 would not have been as big of a deal and as loved and have gotten that 5th DLC if Origins wasn't the hit that it needed to be. And it's a phenomenal map that you can have a fucking great time with. That being said, there are a lot of downsides that I feel like most of us in the community will glaze over. Origins, the mud, is incredibly obnoxious. The randomness that you need to deal with between the generators getting attacked, having to go and try and save them, the part spawns, the building the wind staff, then dealing with the perk variety. You know, the Wonder Fizz is there, but how difficult is it to get something like Double Tap? I can tell you, it was really fucking annoying, right? I don't think Origins is a bad map. I had it as my greatest map of all time for the longest time, up until doing this playthrough. So all I'm doing now is nitpicking for the sake of finding things. But outside of that, the ambiance is perfect. The Primus crew reinvention is great. The ice staffs are the best wonder weapons we've ever had, and the best 4 wonder weapon selection that has been done ever. There's so many innovative things that Origins did to revitalize zombies as a mode entirely. And as much as I do love and enjoy Origins, there is one map that I believe just does it better, and that is going to be our #1 map of Black Ops 2, Mob of the Dead. Why is Mob better? Mob is a very similar situation to Origins where it tells a story. It has these characters that you were very involved with and care about a lot. But I feel it's just done better. Does Mob hold your hand a little bit more? Yes. Are some of the quests much more simpler? Are some of the quests much more simple? Like getting the Retriever and the Redeemer? Yes. But the truth is, depending on the game you play, on any day of the week, these top 2 can always be interchangeable. I think Mob right now, to me, is the better of the 2 just because there is more in your control. You know, it's not necessarily just waiting around for certain things to happen. What's the one thing I'm waiting to happen on Mob? For Brutus to spawn, to be able to run around and get the parts around the map. Yes, it's very fetch questy like Origins, but there's more in your control and that you can determine, and that isn't left up to chance. And I think, to me, that is what separates the two. If I'm having a good game on both, I'm going to pick Origins. If I'm going to have the worst game ever, I'm probably going to pick Mob of the Dead. If it's going to be middle of the road, it's going to be hard to tell. But for now, I'm going to say Mob of the Dead is better than Origins. Never thought I'd say that. Folks, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of the love that you guys have given the Black Ops 2. Getting to Black Ops 2 felt like it took forever, and at the same time it feels like we've flown right through it. So I definitely think Black Ops 2 is as good as I remember it being, but the zombies maps might be a little worse just because of that nostalgia factor prior, and when it comes to ranking things, I can't add the nostalgia into it. But so where am I going to put Black Ops 2 on our game ranking thus far? The little bonus right here at the end. Well, let's see where it compares to our other games. So far, we've completed World at War and Black Ops 1. I've got the tier list right up here. World at War, we gave a B tier, and Black Ops 1, we gave an A tier. Where are we going to put Black Ops 2? I think it's hard. I think I'm going to put Black Ops 2. The easiest part is to put it in the A tier behind Black Ops 1. Purely because the highs are so high, but the lows are also so low. Green Run as a whole and Die Rise bring it down from Black Ops 2 being the S tier zombies map that I've always thought it has been. In truth, it's not. Mob of the Dead and Origins are two of the greatest maps we've ever had and that we will ever have at this point. But when you look at the game as a whole, as good as those two are and Buried, the slog of Die Rise and Green Run just having to get through, it's just the enjoyment factor isn't always there. And I mean, look at Black Ops 1. The map variety, the map quality. You have the 4 World at War maps remastered. You have 5, Shangri-La, Kino, Ascension, Call of the Dead, Dead Ops. You have all this variety and fun. I definitely think Black Ops 1 is better than I ever thought it was after doing this playthrough, and I think somehow it is better than Black Ops 2. Folks, again, thank you for watching. Up next, we are tackling everybody's game that they love to hate on that I used to love, Advanced Warfare. We post every Monday and Friday, and I will see you then.